西洋剑拉扯他。
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Dark and Darker video. Today we're talking about why no one is playing Highroller Crypts in this instance, but this also applies to Highroller Goblin Caves. And as you just heard there, I am in a US West server, and the entire lobby is speaking in Chinese. Never a good sign for a video game because, as we all know, the Chinese are known for using cheats in video games. And this is no exception. But, however, the weird thing about it is, as far as I can tell, none of them really seem to be using any third-party software or anything like that. Instead, they are abusing game mechanics to cheat for other people that they are queued up with. So, you might have seen some posts about this if you frequent any of the Dark and Darker forums, where people are talking about how much they hate teaming. And everyone assumes that they're talking about just natural teaming in the lobby, and that is not what these people are doing. What they are doing is they are queue sniping one another. So they are queuing up at the same time. They're either in the same room physically, or they might be on a Discord call or something like that and queuing for the same server at the same time. Now, the problem with this is that you get all of these Chinese gold farmers on the US West servers, which makes the game completely unplayable. And you might be wondering what mechanic I'm talking about there that they are potentially using that is breaking the game and that is cheating that they can do without any third-party software. So first off, that teaming is part of that cheating. If you have 6 people or 9 people, or it seems to me like you could even get 12 in one game pretty easily, and there might be lobbies out there where they're queuing up all 15 slots, and we just don't know about them because there are no Americans in them. But the problem with this is you will get into these games with these gold farmers, and they will have one person die. Generally, it will be a rogue who gets a bad spawn, and when that person dies, they will stay in spectator, and they will leak your location to the Giga Juice squad. Now, there's a couple of different ways they do this gold farming. If they feel pretty confident that none of their people are going to die, everyone is going to be playing Rogue, which, by the way, they are absolutely brain dead for and have no understanding how the game works. But they queue Rogue, and they go ahead and they open up all of the high-tier chests. If they actually wanted to earn more money, they should be playing Bard with Wanderer's Luck on, but don't expect Chinese gold farmers to have many brains in their skulls. And so, the one Giga Juice team, if they feel like they might have some PvP coming at them, they'll have a team that is Cleric, Wizard, and Barbarian, and that team is the Protector team. And then you have your Rogue, who leaks location to everyone. That team that chases you down is super juiced. We're talking uniques on, legendaries on. The Barbarian will likely have at least 50% physical damage reduction in both magic and physical. And then on top of that, you might run into ones that have as high as 65% in each. I've heard of 70. I haven't seen that yet, though. It should be possible statistically, but I haven't seen them yet. And yeah, if they think you are willing to PvP them, they will go ahead and fight you, and they will run you down so the rest of the rogues on the map can keep looting, and then they'll kill you and loot you, and 99% of the time they won't lose, even though they are horrible players, because their gear is just so good. Even if you're going with a Giga Juiced kit, a Barbarian with 50% damage reduction on both stats is incredibly hard to beat. You'd have to have something similar. And if you do kill them, you know what they do? They DDoS the server you're in so that they get their gear back. So they will crash the server if you kill them and wipe them. The server will just crash, and they will reset all of their gear because the server crashed. And honestly, I'm thinking this might be what's causing all the server issues in the first place, because this is happening so frequently. I've encountered it a couple times, not where I'm the one killing them and then they're crashing the server, but I'm just like hiding in a corner or something, and then another team that's super juiced comes in who actually has some brains in their skull. They kill them, and then the server crashes, or it goes, the game ended abnormally, or something like that, and things just get reset afterwards, which is super annoying and super bad for the game. And I made a video the other day about how this game is not dying and everyone is being overly dramatic. The only thing that kills games like these is cheaters. But these are cheaters, and these need to be dealt with. Players should not be able to queue outside of their server region without a friend in another server region or something like that. And since all these people are Chinese, they should be automatically set to be on the Chinese servers, the Oceania servers. And then on top of that, China needs to be region locked. This is not just a Dark and Darker thing. This happens in every video game. I mean, I remember when I was playing RuneScape, apparently most of the bots were coming out of China. Or Venezuela is the other option, because Venezuelans were just trying to earn some money so they could leave the country because their country's economy is worse than RuneScape's economy. But the same thing happens here with Dark and Darker. You guys might not like to hear this, but the Dark and Darker player base has quite a bit of money. And so what's happening is these players are farming gold, and then someone out there is buying this gold. I don't know who's buying this gold. If it's you, stop it, because you are going to kill this game with how many cheaters you are going to add to it. And you are going to end up losing those very gold pieces you bought from the cheaters to the cheaters again. Also, the reason why this works for them is because Highroller fills up way too slowly. They shouldn't be able to Q-snipe each other as easily as they are right now, but the reason why this is happening is because they added a gear limit to regular lobbies. This has made purple items basically worthless, and because purple items are actually way too common in Highroller, this made it so that Highroller's loot is actually worth less than in normal lobbies. And that's just market forces. And also, they literally just implemented an update 5 minutes ago where they removed this, and now it just applies to unique items. So that would be money bags, and then uniques are the yellow ones. They're not legendaries. Legendaries are the orange ones. I have seen a unique item in game maybe 3 times, and that's not just including like artifacts. That's all unique items. So no artifacts in regular lobbies, no uniques in regular lobbies. But anyways, though, this lobby that I'm in right now is one where they thought it would be dead enough that there would not be any PvP. And they're right, I'm just a solo. I can't really kill anyone here, especially not 3-mans of rogues, even though rogue is a really bad PvP class. And they are pretty much friendly with everyone. That's just how they do things because they think there is no competition. And they do this early in the morning, our time. So I'm recording this at 9 a.m. on US West, which isn't that early, but most of you guys have work at that time, right? Like, most people are working at that time, so they're not playing. They get on these servers with no competition that are just PvE, and they Q-snipe each other, and then they can just farm the PvE for free. And for some reason, they think this is an actually, like, fast method to get gold. And by the way, right here, I'm trying to blend in with the crowd and just crouch spamming at them. They don't know that I am not Chinese. I joined pretty late, so they don't even know that. But you guys will see what happens later. And yeah, this is just a major problem. And so even if you are a really good team, what ends up happening generally is the Giga-juiced team that they have will fight you. And then you will get attacked from behind by like 3-4 rogues to assist because your gear is worth more money than the PvE loot then. So they'll have everyone on the map jump you. And usually you won't kill them. And if you do kill them, they will crash the server and get their gear back. Super unfun. These players need to be banned immediately. Honestly, anyone with a Chinese name queuing on American servers, just ban them as soon as possible. That's what they could do for now. And if I remember correctly, they were having some issues actually region locking China because their server providers are limited due to the lawsuit. So this issue would not be here in the first place if it wasn't for Nexon's lawsuit, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And we are just in a place here that is horrible, and this is something that is absolutely causing great damage to the game. They still have tools to deal with this. These players honestly just need to be banned right now. That's what they could do. But that comes with another issue. When you get cheaters like this in your video game, what they end up doing is they steal credit cards to buy the accounts in the first place. They use stolen credit card numbers, and they can get these accounts. And then what they do after that is those credit cards are going to be said fraudulent by whoever they stole them from, and the charge is going to get charged back. which gives them a lower vendor score with the credit card companies, which hurts them in all sorts of ways that is really not good for this game. Things like payments processing slower, and a whole bunch of things that they really don't want to happen. So the even easier method to get rid of these people might be to stop whatever people are buying the gold in the first place. If someone buys gold from a third-party site, they should be banned. So if someone is getting traded over 10,000 gold out of nowhere from someone they've never played with before, that person should be banned. Or, you know, a named unique or something along those lines. That person needs to be banned and the demand needs to be removed. If the gold stops being worth something outside of the ecosystem of the game, if it stops being worth real-life dollars, these people will go away. These aren't just people who are cheating because, you know, they get off on it, right? These people are cheating because they have financial gain from doing so, and they earn a lot of money doing so. Also, keep in mind here, when you see those bots spamming XYZ 1,000 gold for $1, that's not what they're actually selling it for. That's the lowest it gets to. That would be if you spent like $100 or something. You could get to that point where you get that much gold for that money. What they generally charge, though, is more like $3 per 1,000 gold, and you could earn some money pretty quick, especially if you're in a country like, say, Venezuela or in China. If you're in a poorer country, playing a video game like this and selling the gold might earn you more money than, like, working in a factory or something. And that's what's causing them to do this. It's economic forces. And this has always been a problem with games like these. Path of Exile has this problem. RuneScape has this problem. World of Warcraft has this problem. Escape from Tarkov has the worst problem I've ever seen with this, and honestly, that's what killed the game for me, because I'd say a good 30 or 40% of the players in that game are cheating, and I don't want to see that happen too dark and darker. If you really want to remove this problem, you have to ban the gold buyers. And really, the thing that seemed to stop this with RuneScape, what really slowed them down, and this is a really terrible thing to say, is when RuneScape themselves started selling gold. So they sold these things called Bond that give you membership in-game, and you can trade them with other players for in-game money. And they end up being worth a lot because membership costs a lot of real-life money. And so they ended up selling, you know, gold in-game for real-life currency. They ended up doing it themselves, and that devastated the gold market. Still a problem in old-school RuneScape, but I don't want to see the same thing happen here. It is an old problem. Maybe the old problem needs new solutions. This is catastrophic to the game. And then I have another idea that might slow this down a little bit further. Make Highroller worthwhile so that actual Americans run it. Because I don't see the Chinese gold farmers running ruins, which, by the way, if you're a Chinese gold farmer out there, Highroller isn't even the best gold per hour. I don't know what you guys are doing. Mining gold is way better gold per hour, and these guys have brain damage, just absolute severe brain damage, and they're out here farming Highroller, where you might make 400 or 500 gold a run, when they could be making 1,500, 2,000 gold a run, and ruins lobbies fill up slow, so I don't see why they're even doing it this way in the first place. But really, though, there's a couple different methods they need to use to fix this, and the best way to get rid of them is to make it less money per hour than playing other games. Send them back off to somewhere like RuneScape. Send them back off to somewhere like Escape from Tarkov. Send them back off to somewhere like Path of Exile. If you lower the amount of money that they are bringing in per hour enough, they will stop playing this game. There are a lot of other games that are very loot-focused that do not have this problem. And that's because they've done a better job getting rid of it. But it is very expensive, and we all understand Iron Mace is spending a lot of money on both development right now and on the lawsuit. And so they also have to deal with this cheating problem, which is also very expensive. But get ahead of it, Iron Mace. You have to get on it ASAP. I know they've been doing a good job with third-party cheating software. I have not run into a single third-party cheating software user as far as I know. Maybe someone with wall hacks or something, but they have to get on top of this, or else this is something that could actually kill the game, like how it has cut Escape from Tarkov's player numbers in half over the years. And it's just really sad to see. And if they want to control these cheaters, that's really what it comes down to. Make them earn less money. if you make them earn less money with your game than something like RuneScape, they will leave. Right now, Dark and Darker seems to me like it would be the highest moneymaker per hour, real-life moneymaker in China for someone who wants to farm these video games. Because you can earn a couple thousand gold per hour, and if you're selling it at like $3 per 1,000 gold, then how much are you making? 7, 8, 9 bucks per hour? That's a lot of money, especially if you're doing these weird teaming tactics like they are. This is not like legitimate money-making methods. They have their cheating money-making methods that could be way, way better than what we're doing. I have no idea how much gold they're making because I do not have the ability to do that. I'm not queuing up with 9 people at a time. And there are players moving towards me in the clip now. These guys are moving in on me. And I know they're moving in on me, but I'm kind of just banking on the fact that it seems like they were being friendly with me. That is not a good idea. The Chinese are not going to be friendly with you as much as people commenting on Reddit might tell you otherwise. They will generally try and kill you and take your loot. And here come a bunch of rogues, and I've already cleared out most of the room. And they seem somewhat friendly, but their body language is way off. If they were actually being friendly, they'd go ahead and clear the rest of the mobs. I go ahead and say ni hao here, which don't do that. The Redditors will tell you to do that. They can hear your accent. Now they know I'm not Chinese. I should have just kept crouching and not said anything. Also, another aspect to this that people don't seem to understand, in China's culture, they are perfectly okay with cheating in games. The thought process is, why not use any advantage you can get your hands on? If you're sending an Olympian to the Olympics, why not put them on steroids and give them every leg up you possibly can? That's how they see competition. And you can't expect people from a country that thinks like that in general as a culture. Obviously, not every single one of them. You can't expect people who think like that, though, to play fair and play a game in a way that makes sense, and it makes them not fun to play with, and get rid of them. Region lock them, and here they are attacking me. I'm going to pull out Beloved Corruption, try and kill one. I don't hit him in the head. I don't think it would have killed him anyways, because I'm not in a good set, and that's it. If you guys liked the video, make certain to subscribe for more, and let me know how you guys think Iron Mace should deal with this problem.